Here are my top 6 beginner saltwater aquariums. For today's video, price was not a consideration because budget is highly individualized and depends on the situation. Without further ado, from least to most expensive, the top 6 beginner saltwater aquariums. Number 6 is the Innovative Marine 20 Nuvo Fusion all-in-one long tank. Coming in at around $170, this 20-gallon all-in-one system is your basic tank with two 130-gallon per hour DC return pumps, two 200-micron filter socks, a pre-installed rubber leveling mat, and all necessary plumbing accessories. At 24 inches long, 15 inches deep, and 13 inches tall, it's several inches shorter than your usual 20-gallon saltwater aquarium. Those extra inches are redistributed to the 15-inch depth, allowing for a large rear filtration chamber that runs along the entire length of the nearly 24-inch tank. Spoiler alert, this isn't going to be the only Innovative Marine tank on today's list, and for good reason. Innovative Marine is a well-known brand and it's highly respected in this hobby. They make a wide range of small to medium-sized aquariums. Their tanks are well built, a great value, and fit a wide range of accessories, such as pre-made mesh screens, multi-level acrylic filter baskets, and nano protein skimmers. The primary downside, which you could easily view as an upside, is you have to, or get to, decide on all the rest of the gear you want for your tank. Gear such as the light, wave maker, sand, and rock. For beginner, this can feel really overwhelming, and if you think that might be you, just stick around till number 3 on this list because we have a tank that's actually a kit that comes with absolutely everything you'll need. When fully loaded up with water, sand, and rock, this Innovative Marine 20 long tank will weigh around 200 pounds, so it needs a sturdy base. You can shell out several $100s for Innovative Marine's lightweight and made-to-fit aluminum APS stand, or just use a sturdy desk, cabinet, or table. Number 5 on our list of best saltwater aquariums for beginners is the Waterbox Cube 25 Peninsula Nano all-in-one tank. For around $330, you get a nearly 24-gallon low-iron glass tank, Peninsula style, with a small rear filtration chamber, generic AC return pump, filter sock, reusable bag of activated carbon, 2 sponges, reusable bag of plastic bio balls, plumbing, and a leveling mat. At 24 inches long, 16 wide, and 16 tall, it's a true peninsula, meaning it has 2 long viewing panels. It's almost double the price of number 6 on our list, and it may seem like you're not getting a great value, but for a 25-gallon peninsula tank with everything that's included, it's actually not a bad deal. It's no secret that peninsula-style tanks are my favorite. In larger sizes, they make show-stopping room dividers, and when smaller, like this one, allow you to sculpt an intricately detailed biome that's only limited by your creativity. For this Waterbox 25 Peninsula, even though it does come with some other gear, you're really just buying the tank here. I'd almost certainly replace what's almost guaranteed to be a somewhat vibrating AC return pump with something like the AI Axis 40 controllable DC power return pump because it's going to give you a lot of control and run completely silently. Plastic bio balls don't really add that much value, especially when considered with their ceramic brethren, and they do just seem to take up a lot of space in the small rear filtration chamber. And it's nice that they include a reusable bag of carbon, but realistically, you need to replace that every single week to be effective, so it's not a huge beneficial add, although it is nice that the bag is reusable. Realistically, for this Waterbox 25 Peninsula, I would use the filter sock, sponges, and the tank itself, and then just purchase the rest of the gear myself. Moving on to number 4 on our top 6 beginner saltwater tank list is the Innovative Marine 20 Nuvo Fusion Peninsula Pro 2 bundle with APS pedestal. This bundle comes with your choice of black or white aluminum APS pedestal, which will raise the tank 2.5 inches off your desk or table, giving the entire setup a cleaner look with a flat surface for the base of your tank. On top of the tank and pedestal, this IM Pro bundle includes a Mighty Jet 326 gallon per hour controllable DC powered return pump with included plumbing, one 200 micron filter sock, one one custom acrylic media caddy, fiber filter balls, bag of carbon and GFO, small magnetic algae scraper, pre-installed rubber leveling mat, and a pre-assembled mesh screen. I've had this exact bundle before, except I have the larger stand instead of the pedestal, and it's a tremendous value. I also think the included circular magnetic algae scraper is basically useless. It's way too small to be useful, and the circle shape means you can never get the corners of your tank clean. I mean, it's a nice thought, and will get you by for a little while until you go buy something better, like the flipper magnetic algae scraper. All that being said, for its current price of under $500, around $495, it's a tremendous value, but you'll still have to pick up a few other pieces of gear, such as your light, a wave maker, and a heater, so just keep that in mind. From number 4 to number 3 on our list is the 15-gallon HelloReef all-in-one clownfish and anemone kit. This is the only tank on the list that truly comes with everything you need, including over 50 videos that walk a complete newbie through every step of the process. Before we get into the complete list of what's included, I want to talk about a couple things. First, 2% of all net proceeds from HelloReef go towards ocean conservation, and currently we're supporting the Florida Aquarium and their attempts to help save the reefs off the Florida coast. Without a doubt, HelloReef is the best value on our list today because not only do you get a ton of gear, but the gear you get is only from brand name high-end manufacturers. It's a long list, but here is everything included in the HelloReef kit. 15-gallon low iron glass tank, filter sock, ceramic biomedia, activated carbon with reusable bag, 2 sponges, Sea Micro Plus return pump, 12-inch AI blade grow light, Sea Nano wave maker, 50-watt Eheim Jaeger heater, stick-on thermometer, Carib Sea Life Rock, Carib Sea Live Sand, underwater epoxy, refractometer with calibration fluid, Dr. Tim's beneficial bacteria, clownfish food, aquaforest salt, algae scraper, nitrile gloves, and a $20 Visa gift card toward the purchase of your first clownfish. This is the HelloReef tank right behind me, and mine's been up and running for about 8 months, and it is filled wall to wall with anemones, a couple clownfish, some snails, hermit crab, shrimp, and even a sea urchin. It's a 15-inch cube with an included self-leveling rubber mat, and when fully loaded weighs about 165 pounds. You can just set it on a sturdy desk, table, or cabinet, but there are some cabinet stands that will fit this tank perfectly. I have made 3 upgrades to my HelloReef kit, which you absolutely don't have to do, but I think they're quite nice. The first one is to change out the included Sea return pump with a controllable DC-powered Aqualuminations Axis 20. I then swapped out the Sea wave maker with the AI Nero 3, and I added a pre-made innovative marine mesh screen to keep my fish safe from jumping. If you're brand new to the hobby, just get the HelloReef tank for $550. It is the absolute best value on the list, and the videos will make your life so much easier. Before we move on to the most expensive tank on our list, let's talk about number 2, the 38-gallon Fiji Cube Peninsula. At 3 feet long, 16 inches deep, and 16 inches tall, this beauty is a showstopper and is meant to be viewed from all angles. It's a pretty standard glass aquarium with a small rear filtration chamber and includes a filter sock, media basket, and a Fiji Flow 550 DC powered silent and controllable return pump. Unique to this tank is the dual baffle design, which pulls water into the rear filtration chamber at 2 locations to increase filtration power. At $650, you don't get a lot of other gear, but you get a beautiful 3-foot-long Peninsula tank. You'll need some sort of specific cabinet stand for this Fiji Cube because when fully loaded, it's going to weigh over 300 pounds. What's not ideal from a beginner perspective with this tank is it doesn't come with much gear, so you're going to have to make all those decisions yourself, which means you're going to have to do a good amount of research to find what fits and what works well for you. Also, at 38 gallons, the rear filtration chamber is quite small, so if you decide to pack your tank with a whole bunch of fish, you may struggle keeping your nutrient levels down, but that's not a huge deal as you can adjust how often and how large your weekly water changes are. I would recommend this Fiji cube for an adventurous beginner who doesn't mind doing quite a bit of research to get things just right. For the beginner who wants to have it all the toys, all the gear, including a sump, then check out number 1 on our top 6 beginner saltwater aquarium tanks, the Sea Reefer Max 200 G2+. With a 42-gallon display tank and an 11-gallon sump, this 53-gallon stunner comes with heavy-hitting gear from the top-of-the-line aquarium manufacturer. For $3,300, you get the tank white or black cabinet stand, internal weir with pre-assembled hard plumbing, a Reef LED 90 with mounting arm, a Reefer DC protein skimmer, a Reef Wave 25 gyre wave maker, a Reef Mat fleece roller, a Reef Run controllable DC return pump, a Reef ATO Plus system, and a slide out control panel. Hardware-wise, you only need a heater. My first aquarium a decade ago was a Red Sea tank, and in those 10 years, they've just been producing piece after piece of high-quality gear specifically made for their tanks. The tank itself was a pretty standard size at 24 inches long, 23 inches deep, and 21 inches high. Having a sump doesn't necessarily make this tank more difficult, there's just more to learn and more gear to know about. There aren't any real downsides to this tank. At this price point, I would prefer an external overflow to be able to remove that weir and clear up more space in the display tank. And I really wish Red Sea would get rid of their glass sumps and switch to either acrylic or PVC. Personally speaking, I also wish the tank was slightly shorter and wider, as that increased surface area means you can just add more fish to your tank. For a beginner, this is like the Cadillac of tanks. If you go this route, you're just gonna have to spend a little bit more time up front to learn how all of your gear works, but it's definitely doable. Agree or disagree? What would you change in this list? Click here for another great video from HelloReef, and until next time, be well and have a reefing, everybody.